forgive me. I'm having a Kylie Minogue moment. Please forgive me. It doesn't happen very often, but all weekend I was listening to Kylie Minogue on my headphones as I was cutting the grass in the garden. It just seems to have stuck with me. Lovely. But actually, I was going to tell you, I've started writing a book, and it's quite exciting. I've never written anything longer than a short paper or anything. I don't know why. I've just when you know what it's like when you've got a blank piece of paper. It's just I find it really difficult to make anything longer than just a few pages. I think it's partly because for work, you only edit other people's documents or you write briefing papers or things like that. And sustaining something longer with, a long narrative has always been a real challenge for me. But I just put my head down and just kept going at it. And I'm quite impressed. I say I started writing a book. I've got to like 200 pages, and I'm fairly happy that it's mostly there. So there's a lot of tweaks I need to still make to it. There's so much detail involved. Um, like the tractors just now met some random car that started driving across the field. There's so many tweaks. Like I just realized that I'd put somebody's age near the beginning of the book, and then like 180 pages later, I'd mentioned their age again, and I couldn't remember what the age was, so I'd clearly got them wrong. So like consistency errors and all that kind of stuff. But it's quite exciting. It's set between the UK and Jordan, with a little bit in Turkey as well, and it's all about extremism and Jordan. It's got some action. It's got helicopter crashes. It's got medieval history. It's got so much in it. It's and I was just thinking yesterday, if like I'm trying to like make my own personality in book form. If there was lots of things that were just kind of representative of what's buzzing around in my head most of the time, then it's in this book. So if I finally get it finished, I'll be really excited to share it with you. What are you up to? You've been sunbathing today, haven't you? Yeah. To be completely honest, I'm not a cat person, but it's kind of nice to have someone else around the house occasionally just to. Where are you off to? So this is the other thing I should be working on, is trying not to kill off my little bonsai collection. I absolutely love these. I've been training them. I found them all out in the forest and just transplanted them. This one's not looking so good. It's a little bit yellow. This one's doing amazingly well. They're sort of bonsai, but it takes a long time, doesn't it? Right, so I just had to hop inside to get my book. It's just so nice you have to sit outside, I think. So I'm reading A History of Britain. This is the Carter and Mears version. And I was really lucky to find this. It's book 1. And it's taken me, I don't know, like about 8 or 9 years to find book 1. I've read all the others. But, a few years ago, back in COVID times, I remember trying to find book 1 and it was impossible to get. There was one version on eBay for something like £150 from America. But I've had all the others, and it's a great book because Carter and Mears used to write textbooks for schools, way back in the day. And I'll show you the contents page. So these are all the different versions you get. So books 1 to, was it 8? I think he originally planned to write 10 books, but they only got up to 8 or something. I think there was, I saw in one of the editions there was like 10 books, but they never actually wrote them. But it's so great because it's like history made easy, but it's still not like too oversimplified. There's a lot of detail in there, and because it was for kids in like I don't know, before the Second World War, it's just more complicated than books that you get nowadays. So it's just like a really good introduction to the entirety of Britain's history. And what's also great is that they come in different colours. So I've got the whole collection now, and they're in this lovely sort of pastel colour collection, all with nice little pictures on the front, which I think is so cool. So it's kind of weird. I've done it backwards. I kind of started with the later years, and I've now got to start right at the beginning with the Romans and the Stone Age, and moving on to the Dark Ages. But I do love them. Actually, just thinking I might go for a little walk down the lane, just as it's so nice. And yeah, it just occurred to me I should probably explain why this vlog is called Sandlines. So I was watching this documentary recently. Joseph Fiennes, the actor, goes off with his cousin, so Ranulph Fiennes, the great explorer, and they go on this immense trek across the length of Egypt. It's a really great documentary, and I was watching it and thinking, God, I would absolutely love to do that. I've been to Egypt so many times. I first went there when I was really quite young. I was a student. I was terrified of the place. I remember walking through Cairo feeling so anxious. Just everybody kept on approaching me, asking me for things, wanting me to buy stuff. It was so intimidating. And then I sort of looked up at the Nile Hilton Hotel and said, one day I'll come back and I'll be rich and I'll be confident. Went back a few years later and did another trek in St. Catherine's Monastery and up in the desert. And but funnily enough, I did actually go back during the Arab Spring and spent an entire month, 6 weeks, working in the British Embassy in Cairo. And I stayed in the Nile Hilton. It was so cool. And then I moved to I think, which one is it? The Mövenpick, or somewhere right next to the embassy, which is gorgeous. It's like a hotel that's got a full-on butler service every time you want a cup of tea, which is a bit much if you're actually living there. But yeah, so I've been there quite a few times, and of course I lived there when I was a student. Spent the entire summer there learning Arabic. Um, but in the last few years, I kind of abandoned it. I haven't been there, and I haven't really thought about it much. But I watched this documentary, and it just completely took me back and made me wish that. Well, it made me think that like there's a journey that I've never made in Egypt. All the bits that I've never seen. I know the cities fairly well, but I've never been down into the south, into Upper Egypt, and it's something I'd really love to do. So it just kind of got me thinking how, in life there are countries that, well, maybe it's not the same for everybody, but for me, certainly there's countries where you form an early attachment to them, and it just sort of imbues the rest of your life with this sense that you are meant to be connected to this. So for Kathleen, it's Nepal, and she always seems to, have plans to go back there one day, or dreams of going back there. And for me, it's, whether I like it or not, it's been Egypt. It just seems to keep cropping up in my life. And so I'm really thinking maybe it's time that I planned, a proper Egypt adventure. And I've got friends that live there as well, so that would appear logical. I just need to find some good dates, some cheaper flights, and then and maybe like engage a local photographer or somebody who could take me around to some hidden places that I don't know about in the city. That would be nice. Because when I lived there as a student, of course, I didn't have a camera. I mean, I must have had something. I think I probably had some disposable camera or something. I've got a few shots at that time, but I'd really like to get some really good, modern photographs of the ancient city and the desert. So yeah, Sandlines. I'm writing this book. I spent most of my time in the Middle East and bits of dusty Africa, so that's why.